Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Good morning. Today we have a mixed bag of stuff, and I'm going to talk about very briefly about what I'm thinking as I start my day today. I would like to move into the economic calendar first. And I think this week we have some data points that are yet to come. So today we're going to get the PPI data at around 8:30. And tomorrow we have retail sales and Michigan month over month, retail sales month over month, and Michigan consumer sentiment is going to come in on Friday. So those are, I think, the major points that we might look at. And there's also the jobless claims 4-week average, which is due for tomorrow. These data points could give extra color. We already have established that the tariffs have started flowing through, especially into products that are bought by consumer for the household, things like furniture and imported consumer goods, basically. As I mentioned earlier, there is a little bit of masking of that inflation because many companies, which are multi-product companies, have been cross-subsidizing the tariffs across products that don't attract tariff, so that it's not a huge sticker shock for people when they buy it again. But when you talk about individual product companies, where companies manufacture just one product, and especially if they are small business, they are having terrible troubles because they don't have any other products to cross-subsidize the tariffs. So the tariff impact in some cases is as high as 65%, when previous tariffs before Trump and Trump tariffs from first term and Trump tariff from second term are stacked on top of the country-specific tariff, like on China. So when you put all of those things together, it could go as high as 65 to 70%. I saw an example of a lady who makes carry-on bags for women, where a single bag could have multiple bags inside it, one to keep the shoes and the handbag and stuff like that. For her, she explained how all the tariffs together add to around 75%, and there is no way she can absorb it as a small business, and she's not able to manufacture it domestically either at a cheaper price, and she may not manufacture anything for the next year and doesn't know how to go about saving her business. It took her 13 years to build her business up, and now it seems like she's going to lose the business. So there are those kind of stories also, which are not surfacing in this economic data as yet. But for that, we'll have to look at bankruptcies, we'll have to look at mortgage delinquencies, credit card delinquencies, and all those data. We'll see that later on. But right now, for this morning, what I'm thinking is that the economy is starting to show a little bit of hint of the tariffs, and more economic data is likely to give us much better understanding. Now, looking at earnings, right? The bank earnings that we had so far were good. But after the earnings, despite them being really good, like JP Morgan, the stock started falling after the earnings. So it seems like more of buy the rumor and sell the news kind of a thing. And this is something that could aid the index, normalize the bearish divergence, which could probably mean that the risk of the market dropping is higher now than going up. So that said, today Bank of America announced their earnings before we started the live stream. They reported slightly less revenue than what was forecast, but the stock still fell. The stock fell 1.95% in pre-market trade, despite having a 3.43% surprise on EPS. So that's what is happening. And we have a few more bank stocks that are to report, like Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley. We'll see what happens there. But the chances are that it's going to be share price dropping after the earnings. That's what seems to be the trend. Then we also have ASML shares, which have shown how uncertainty of tariffs and geopolitical issues can make it difficult for even a pioneering and successful company to fail. They are unable to predict if they can grow in 2026. And as a result, their share has dropped almost 6%. And that is something that should worry everybody, because the tariff is not only playing a number on inflation, but it's also making successful companies find it very difficult to plan ahead. And instead of focusing on their key performance factor, which gives them success, they have to expend a lot of overheads on managing the risk out of changing tariff policies. And that becomes a big problem for companies, especially for long-term investments and big ticket investments. Then we also have Johnson and Johnson, which has reported, and this is a really good story because they reported significantly higher revenue than forecast, and also they had a 3.29% surprise on earnings on the upside. So all of that put together has given them a 2% jump in the pre-market action, and that's a very good start for the day. And also crypto is generally up almost 1% as Trump claims he has now got votes to push crypto bills that could not pass earlier. So there is that anticipation for some goodies for the crypto sector that is pushing up the crypto market. So from the crypto point of view, it's looking pretty good. With that said, I would like to go and get back into our TradingView platform, and I would like to go and show you what is happening in the futures and indices and what I'm thinking this morning. So let me recalibrate the charts, and here we have the S&P 500. Now, I don't know if this could be a classic topping tail because it's not at the top of everything, but typically a candle like this, when it happens at the peak of any price chart movement, that is called as a topping tail. We have not had a topping tail so far, and I don't think this is a topping tail. My knowledge is a little bit limited. I have to study more on this. But suffice to say that we touched this diagonal line of resistance, and then we are on our way back down. And we had a support here at around 6,283. And if you look at the pre-market action, we are at 6,277.5. So this is going to become a line of resistance for today. And I think the 9-day exponential is also moving along with it at 6,280. So both of them together are going to give a formidable resistance to S&P 500 today. And of course, we still have the bearish divergence to contend with. And also you can see the bullish sentiment is waning very gradually. MACD is bearish and momentum is dropping. It was flat yesterday and it's slightly tilted downwards. And pre-market, we are down 0.10%, which is not too much. So we'll see what happens when the market opens and how things go about. Next, we look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ is down 0.25% in pre-market trades, and we have a support of the 9-day exponential moving average at 22,946, providing support. Right now, we are at 23,000. And we also have a resistance, which is going to play up today at 23,392. So that's around the 92-point range for today to go up. And we still have the bearish divergence, which has to be acted upon. Then we have dollar index, which is going down 0.05%. And the dollar index moves down along with the yield, and it goes up along with the yield. That's the trend I have seen happening. So if you look at the 10-year yield, the 10-year yield has gone down by 0.18%. But I'm thinking that in the near term, the yield has got to go up. I can see a kind of reverse head and shoulder pattern out here. So if this were to be true, then I would consider this to be the neckline, and I can just pick this up and put it out here. So we could go all the way up to 4.6% for the 10-year yields. So that's a possibility out there. And you can see the bullish sentiment, and the MACD is also bullish. Now, if you look at 20-year, same thing. We had a bull flag, and this bull flag, if I was to take the length of the bull flag and from where it broke out, so it broke out from here. So I would see that we'll go all the way up to this resistance out here, which happens to be at 5.03. So 5.03 could be the point where the 20-year would face some resistance. And then we have the 30-year, again, the bull flag is out there. So something similar can be done. So basically, I'm thinking that this is just a temporary drop. It's on the way up. That's my thought process out here. And then I would like to look at the indicators where S&P 500 has got a resistance today at around 6,350. Right now we are at 6,243. So this diagonal line of resistance is the ultimate resistance that we will face. Now we have another diagonal line of resistance, which is coming from a long period of time. In fact, it is with us all the way from the 5th of December onwards. Now that happens to provide a resistance for us around 6,270. And we have the 9-day exponential, which is at 6,227, which is going to give a support for us today. So 6,227 is the support, and we have two resistance on top of it. Of course, the bearish divergence is getting resolved slowly out here. I think we have almost flatlined out here. And I think if I was to adjust our divergence, yeah, I think we are on the mend out here, almost close to being mended. So the divergence would no longer be an issue, because if you look at the flat line out here and compare it to this downline, I think there's a little bit of divergence, but it's more or less mending itself. Nasdaq also is going to face a support of 22,747, which is the 9-day exponential, and face a resistance of somewhere around 23,215 for today. And then if you look at the VIX, it is down another 1.04%. Anytime the VIX is down, it is good. When the VIX goes up, that's when we have problems. So I always welcome this. Then gold is up 0.44%. And as the dollar weakens, the gold strengthens because it's denominated in dollars. So it's but natural to see this happen. Next, we have the QQQ, which indicates that the pre-market action is negative. It's down 0.13, which is not too much. But given the fact that when banks report even stellar earnings, the stock price falls, I think it's going to add on to the overall stock market moving downwards as earnings start coming in from the banks. We have Morgan Stanley yet to report, and we've got a few more coming up. Now, I would say that the put-call ratio is still mildly bullish and to neutral. So that's the range I would say it would be in. And let us... Hi, Inf. Good morning. Thanks for joining. And now let's look at the AI stocks, and NVDA is up 0.07%. There is a lawsuit from shareholders who are claiming that NVIDIA hid over 1.1 billion in crypto revenue, misclassifying it as OEM revenue and misleading investors about GPU sales drivers. This could be a nuisance lawsuit or whatever, and NVIDIA is a huge juggernaut, but NVIDIA definitely is at an all-time high, and therefore all of these news can make a big impact out there. Pre-market, we are just up 0.08%. We opened up much higher this market in the pre-market this morning, but we have moved down slowly. So we'll have to see whether the bearish divergence is going to start taking effect out here, given the valuations are so stretched. Then we have Meta, which is up 0.35%, and they're going to invest around $70 billion in AI data centers this year, nearly double last year's spending. And that's also a source of bullishness for Meta. And Meta is following this diagonal line of resistance, which is going to give us a resistance today at 721. And the 21-day exponential, which is at 709.95, is going to give us a support today. And we have, I would just like to draw this line out here. We have the topping tail out here, and I think we are coming down. I think this is a downtrend that is happening. This was the bull flag that I had done earlier. And in terms of the bull flag, we are already below 50% of the flagpole. So I don't think this is a bull flag anymore. That is the reason why I'm becoming a bit bearish out here. Google is up 0.41% in pre-market trades. Support is going to be at 180.19. Amazon is down 0.51% in pre-market trades. And we can see that this diagonal line of resistance at 226.31 is going to be our resistance today. Pre-market, we are at 225.19, and our support is this minor line of support at 224.32. Apple is up 0.20% in pre-market trades. It's not that much, and the 100-day exponential at 210.20 is going to be a resistance for now, and the support is going to be the green line that you see here, which is somewhere around 207.64 or 207.21, and it's along with the 21-day exponential at 206.90. They are going to give support. I wouldn't consider the 9-day exponential to be a support at this point of time. Let us see when the market opens if we are still about 209.33. It's almost very close to call. Now, Microsoft is down 0.15%. It is below this diagonal line of resistance today, which is going to be 506.78. Right now, we are at 505.07. It's been a meteoric race, and I think at this point of time, everything is stretched. And you can see the bearish divergence and also the bullish sentiment has almost diminished, and we are in the verge of getting bearish. So Microsoft may lose further today, and I'm going to look at Tesla, which is up 0.32% in pre-market action. Yesterday also we were up in pre-market action, but then we came down. Today the 100-day exponential at 310.68 is the support, failing which the 200-day at 300.29 is going to be the support. And the 21-day exponential at 314.94 is going to be the resistance. Right now we are at 311.83. Next is Oracle. Oracle is up 0.14%, and it's going to get a very strong support at 230.33, which is also the place where the 9-day exponential meets the horizontal line of support. And we have AMD, which is going to be, I think, a little bit bearish this morning, especially because of the fact that you had a gap up yesterday, and there was a lot of optimism because NVDA had a meeting with President Trump, and Jensen Huang was able to convince that they should be able to release chips to China, which were blocked earlier. And that gave a boost to AMD as well, because AMD could commence resuming their own chip sales to China as well. All of that saw a huge jump yesterday, and there are people who are likely to take profits at this point of time. I think that's what is reflecting in the pre-market action. We are seeing a drop of 0.53%, and the stock price is at 154.81. I would say that the support is the 9-day exponential at 144.22. That's going to be the support for today. And HSBC has upgraded AMD to buy with a $200 target, citing rising AI chip demand. And even Barclays has increased this target to 180. So there's a lot of positive analyst recommendation for AMD. That's going to be the positive catalyst, but this gap fill might probably happen partially today. SMCI is down 0.36% in pre-market trades, and the support is going to be 50.17. And we have Broadcom, which is down 0.56% in pre-market trades, and the 9-day exponential at 274.58 is going to be the support. Palantir is up 0.38% in pre-market trades, but support is going to be 144.97. SMH is down 0.93% in pre-market trades, yet not to worry. Our support is going to be very strong at 285.12 today, because it is this diagonal line of support and the 9-day exponential moving average jointly providing that support. Tempus AI is up 2.31% in pre-market trades. Yesterday also it was up in pre-market trades, but I think it's likely to slide back again, and the 200-day exponential at 53.83, which is this white line out here, is going to be the support that we will see. Now that said, I'm going to move on to Genomics. And in Genomics, Prime is down 1.17%. Support is going to be this 9-day exponential moving average at around 4.07, and resistance is going to be 4.54, which is a horizontal line of resistance. Intelia shows that there's a gain of 0.96% in pre-market trades. Our support for today is 11.36, and resistance for today is going to be 12.29, and pre-market we are up at 11.59%. Cargo Biosciences is also up 4.35% in pre-market trades, and our 200-day exponential at 1.58 is the initial support for us. And that support is very strong because the 9-day exponential also ends up in the same location. Now we've got Beam Therapeutics, which is up 0.51% in pre-market trades. The 100-day exponential, which is at 19.92, which is this line that you see here, it's going to be the first line of resistance, and the support is going to be the 21-day exponential, which is at 19.14. You have Altimmune down 0.48%. It's consolidating at this point of time. And then you have Verve Therapeutics, which is up 0.09%. And it is stabilizing a little bit. Our 9-day exponential is 11.02. And right now we are at 11.03. It's very close to falling below the 9-day exponential. If it falls below the 9-day exponential, I'll be a little bit concerned, and I'll have to investigate and see the exact terms of deals of Lilly to get an idea of whether there's an opportunity to make some money out of that. Now, next we have Editas. Editas is up 0.36% in pre-market trades, and the immediate support is the 9-day exponential, which is at 2.75. At pre-market, we are at 2.76. And then, if you look at the next level of support, it's the 21-day exponential, which is at 2.50. I think we have a bull flag forming out here, so ideally this should move up on the upside after having bounce of the 9-day exponential. Then we have Illumina, which is up 0.21%, and the 9-day exponential is going to be the resistance for it today at 97.88. 97.88, and the 21-day exponential at 95.29 is going to be the support. Pre-market, we are at 97.35. Then we have CRISPR Therapeutics up 0.80%, and the 9-day exponential is going to be the first line of resistance for it, and it's at 54.26. So that's what we are seeing with CRISPR Therapeutics, and Ilogen is flat in pre-market trade. Grail is up 0.23% in pre-market trades, but it is steadily coming down, and I think all the indicators show that Grail is weak. PSCB has got no trades pre-market. ARCG is up 0.25% in pre-market trades. And then we have Vertex, which is up 0.06%. It has got strong support from all the exponential moving averages except the 9-day. So in a sense, it is starting to get weak. And we have this bullish flag out here, and that could potentially break out on the upside. Vertex is a pretty good company with good products, so that's a very good chance for it to happen. And then we have Ginkgo Bioworks, which is up 0.74%. And the support for today is going to be 9.39, which is a horizontal line of support. That's about it, my friends. And that I would like to look at Precision and see where it is. Precision is at 1.90. It's trying to determine what to do. And my purchase price for Precision is 1.91. So I can't sell it right now. But the earliest I get a chance, I would like to get out of it. So that brings me to an end of today's session. And I'm going to look at the chat section to see what's happening out there. So Inf is saying ASML reported this morning too, in addition to banks. Yeah, I covered that Inf. And he's saying, I wonder when people will take profits on NVDA. Here we go. Okay, so I have done my session for this morning, and I'm going to go and have a quick breakfast and come back to get on the terminal. And I'm going to make some videos for today. I have some ideas that I want to discuss with you guys. So I'm wishing you all a very good day. Bye for now.